Welcome back to Note Lab Mode, where we take all your notes and articles and videos, anything you've been digging into, and we break it down to the interesting parts. And today's no exception.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about, and I did want to mention our sponsor today is Clarfit.ai.
Nice.
So
I love these guys.
yes, founded by Gustavo Smit, former CPO of Namshi, which is the largest fashion e-commerce company in the Gulf region, and also Pablo Morales, who was former CTO at La Bonito, the largest local fashion brand in Singapore.
Okay.
And
You guys know their fashion.
they do. They
Commerce?
fashion, and they know e-commerce, and so they've created this really cool company that uses AI to help fashion companies boost their revenue.
All right.
So if you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely worth checking out. But now,
Absolutely.
for today's deep dive, you've been exploring this company, DeepSeek, a Chinese AI company that is making some serious waves and
Causing a little bit of a stir.
yeah, a little bit of a stir. So we've got your stack of sources right here, and we're going to be uncovering what makes DeepSeek so intriguing and frankly,
a little unsettling to some people.
yeah, a little unsettling
Yeah.
for some folks. So what is it about this company that has
What is it about DeepSeek?
yeah, what is it about DeepSeek that's got everybody buzzing? You know, they've managed to disrupt the AI scene so dramatically, especially considering the financial
hurdle.
the hurdles that they've seemingly overcome.
It's pretty fascinating.
I mean, it's incredible. They developed this powerful large language model called DeepSeek-R1, and it was for under $6 million.
$6 million.
I mean, to put that in perspective,
Pocket change.
some U.S. companies are pouring billions
Billions with a B.
with a B into AI development, and yet
And yet,
DeepSeek's creation,
it's topping the charts.
it's topping the charts,
It's surpassing ChatGPT
surpassing OpenAI's ChatGPT app
on Apple's App Store.
on Apple's App Store.
Like, where did this come from?
It's like they found a secret
What?
shortcut or something.
The secret sauce.
The secret sauce, yeah. And
You know what?
this
It's turning heads, that's for sure.
low-cost approach has sent shockwaves through the tech world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw a stock market dip, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta Platforms all taking a hit.
You know, it's almost like investors are suddenly questioning the value of those massive investments
Yeah.
U.S. companies have made in AI.
Yeah, it's like,
What's going on here?
are they wasting their money?
Why spend all that money?
Yeah, I mean, it's like everybody's freaking out a little bit because DeepSeek is proving that you don't need
Yeah.
a $1 billion budget to create a competitive AI.
You don't need to spend billions to build a great AI.
Yeah, and here's where it gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
They did all this despite U.S. restrictions on exporting high-performance AI chips to China.
Whoa.
So it's a
big one.
It's like they're playing a whole different game.
Yeah.
They're playing with one hand tied behind their back almost.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, it highlights a crucial point, I think, that, innovation doesn't always require the most advanced or expensive tools.
Yeah.
And DeepSeek has kind of proven this.
yeah, it's really.
They've demonstrated that resourcefulness and, clever optimization can be just as effective, if not more so.
Yeah.
It challenges the assumption that, dominance in AI hinges solely on having the latest and greatest hardware.
It's like
It really does.
it's almost a David versus Goliath situation.
Yeah.
But David figured out a way to make a slingshot
Okay.
that's just as powerful as Goliath's expensive weaponry,
I like that.
and they're not stopping there.
Okay.
DeepSeek is going open source, making their model free to use.
Free.
Free to use.
Whoa.
Talk about shaking up the industry.
That's a game changer.
I mean, this open source approach
Yeah.
has the potential to disrupt the paid subscription models
Yeah.
that have become so common in the U.S. AI landscape.
That's right.
So imagine a world where powerful AI tools
I mean,
freely available to anyone
But anyone.
with an internet connection.
That's a powerful thought.
I mean, this could be incredibly empowering for researchers, startups, even individuals who just want to experiment with AI.
Yeah.
So it's like the early days of the internet when access was wide open and innovation just
flourished. Wild West of
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good way to put it.
And, you mentioned this thing about
the Sputnik moment.
the Sputnik moment.
I did.
What's the connection to DeepSeek?
Well, tech investor Mark Andreessen drew a comparison between DeepSeek's emergence and
the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik, which was the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth.
Right. So it's kind of like, back then.
Yeah, it was a shockwave.
It sent these shockwaves through the U.S. because suddenly
it was this moment where
this other country was making huge technological leaps.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
They thought they were
dominating
the space race.
Right.
But
and then
Sputnik
kind of turned that on its head.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I guess
so
similarly DeepSeek's
kind of turning the AI landscape on its head.
Success is forcing the U.S. to kind of reconsider its position in the AI landscape.
Rethink their strategy.
A wake-up call, basically.
Wake-up call.
And it seems like DeepSeek is more than just a symbolic.
Yeah, more than just symbolic challenge. I mean, their R1 model can perform all sorts of complex tasks, from answering questions to writing different types of...
different creative content.
I even read about its...
it's pretty impressive.
Impressive reasoning abilities.
It is.
So is it...
pretty capable.
Is it really that capable?
It is, from what you've shown me, based on...
Seems like DeepSeek-R1.
On these sources that you've provided, it does seem like DeepSeek-R1 exhibits these advanced capabilities, especially in its ability to reason through problems step by step.
Yeah, it goes beyond just pattern recognition.
That's something.
It's understanding and problem solving.
Totally different than
it's a big step forward.
Than just recognizing patterns.
Yeah,
it's
significant.
It's incredible. I mean, it's a significant advancement
for sure
in AI development.
Yeah.
Okay.
Color me impressed.
Right.
But how can DeepSeek
are they doing it?
Achieve this level of sophistication with such a limited budget?
Yeah. You'd think.
I'm picturing like some super secret next level tech, but
yeah, you'd think there'd be some
sources they mentioned this technique called
model distillation.
Model distillation.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
So it's not about secret tech.
Okay.
It's more about cleverly optimizing existing knowledge.
Okay.
So model distillation is kind of like a knowledge transfer process.
Okay.
Like imagine a brilliant professor teaching a student.
Right.
The student doesn't need to reinvent every concept from scratch. They can learn from the professor's expertise and build upon it.
It's like creating...
It's like an apprentice AI learning
apprentices that are learning from the masters, but without requiring all the massive...
resources.
Yeah. That's really smart.
Yeah.
So does that mean that anybody with a laptop could potentially run DeepSeek?
Well...
is it that...
Things get a little more nuanced.
Okay.
So while smaller distilled models can run on relatively modest hardware, some users even report success with graphics cards like an RTX 480.
Oh, wow.
But the full-fledged DeepSeek models still demand...
So it's not just like...
significant computing power.
Plug and play. I mean...
Not quite.
You really do need some...
You need some horsepower. Yeah.
I learned that the hard way, actually.
Yeah.
I tried running the bigger DeepSeek model while prepping for this episode, thinking,
multitasking.
I could multitask. I can do this.
Get it all done. Oh, your computer said no.
My computer's like, nope,
not happening.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder.
It is a good reminder
that even with efficiency gains, advanced AI still relies on
powerful hardware.
Right. So for the larger DeepSeek models, you might need multiple
networked devices.
Or
specialized AI chips.
To handle the workload. So
you need the right tools for the job.
While they're making AI more accessible, we're not all going to have superpowered AI running on our phones just yet.
Yeah.
But even with that caveat, I mean, the potential impact is huge. I mean, DeepSeek's cost-effective development, open source approach, could truly democratize AI.
It really could.
I mean, think about smaller companies, researchers, even hobbyists who previously couldn't access these powerful tools.
Couldn't even dream of.
Now they could be.
Now they're in the game.
At the forefront of AI innovation.
Yeah.
So
the possibilities are endless.
It's like the Wild West of AI with all these new possibilities opening up.
Very exciting.
But hold on. Before we get too carried away with the excitement we have to address.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. DeepSeek's popularity has attracted some unwanted attention. Cyber attacks forced them to limit new users.
They did, which ironically
probably just made it more desirable.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody wants what they can't have.
Now it's like the forbidden fruit.
Exactly.
And then
but more serious.
And then there's the data leak.
Yeah.
Which
not good.
Yeah, this is
not a laughing matter.
This is no laughing matter.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
What happened was
I mean,
a reported security vulnerability exposed a database containing user chat history, API keys, and even
operational details.
Internal operational details.
Oh man.
That's a
privacy nightmare.
That's a privacy nightmare. I mean,
yeah, it makes you wonder.
It really does make you wonder.
About the trade-offs.
About the trade-offs between open access.
Yeah, open access and security.
Security, especially in the world of...
especially in AI.
In AI.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that definitely highlights the need for...
This incident definitely highlights.
Robust security measures.
Yeah.
Especially as open source.
Especially as open source becomes more prevalent.
Right.
It's a reminder that every technological leap comes with its challenges instead of challenges.
For sure.
But let's shift gears for a moment and delve deeper into what DeepSeek can actually do.
What can it actually do?
What stood out to you in these reports about its capabilities?
Well, one expert compared DeepSeek to the early days of
personal computing, when those massive mainframes were the only game in town.
Yeah.
And then came these scrappy little PCs.
Yeah.
They couldn't do everything.
Right.
But they were good enough for a lot of tasks, and most importantly,
they were
accessible.
Accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's kind of
and DeepSeek might not be.
That's kind of what the
most powerful AI on the planet.
DeepSeek is doing right.
But its strength lies in its accessibility and efficiency.
Yeah, it's lowering
the barrier to entry.
The barrier to entry.
And paving the way.
And potentially paving the way for a more
diverse
and innovative AI landscape. So it's like they're saying, hey,
you don't need $1 billion.
You don't need $1 billion and a
supercomputer
to join the AI revolution. Everybody can play.
And that brings up another
another key point.
A good point.
One that
has some people worried.
Has some people a little worried.
DeepSeek's origins.
Yeah.
It was developed in China.
It was
a country with a different political system.
And values.
On different values. So some experts
are concerned about the implications for global AI.
We're a little bit concerned. Yeah, so it's not just about...
Just about who?
Who's got the smartest AI?
The smartest AI.
It's about how that AI might be used.
Yeah, it's about how that AI might be used to further national agendas.
Yeah.
Potentially creating
friction.
Friction between countries.
Yeah,
so we're talking about AI being used for things like
propaganda.
Even.
Cyber warfare.
I mean, it's
a chilling thought.
That's a pretty chilling
thought.
So DeepSeek's open source nature.
These are serious concerns
that
are being talked about all over the place.
Positive at first.
Yeah.
Now seems
a little more ambiguous.
A bit more ambiguous.
Yeah.
On one hand,
it promotes transparency.
Transparency and collaboration.
Open access.
But on the other hand,
it
could give China a powerful tool to spread its influence and reshape.
Yeah, to reshape the global
AI landscape to its advantage.
To their advantage.
Yeah, so
it's a complex situation.
With
no easy answers.
So
policymakers
and tech leaders
are
really struggling
to find the right
balance.
How to encourage
innovation and open access while also safeguarding against potential
Potential misuse.
Potential misuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like
We're
entering
a new era.
A new era.
It's technological competition.
Where AI is the
or AI is the ultimate prize.
Yeah. And the stakes.
And the stakes are incredibly high.
I mean, this competition has implications for
economic dominance. National security.
And the future of
global power.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to process. But amidst all this,
amidst this tension,
I did come across some glimmers of hope.
There is hope.
Many experts believe
there is
that the best way to counter the potential risks posed by DeepSeek.
The potential risks
isn't to stifle innovation or engage in a
technological arms race.
Instead, they advocate for
a more collaborative
approach,
one that encourages
responsible development,
and
shared norms
of
use.
So maybe instead of viewing DeepSeek as a
threat,
we could see it as
that's a catalyst,
a wake-up call.
Yeah,
that compels the world to
work together. Yeah,
on one of the most important technological frontiers of our time.
Yeah. I agree with that.
A
global effort to establish.
Yeah, it might be tempting.
Ethical guidelines and frameworks for AI.
To retreat into a
could help
defensive posture.
Mitigate some of the risk.
But history has shown that
regardless of
who develops the technology
and dialogue are often more effective.
It's in everyone's interest
to
ensure that AI is used for good, not for harm.
Global challenges.
Yeah.
And in the case of
and when it comes to AI,
those challenges are potentially huge, immense.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what makes this whole
it so
deep dive
interesting,
so fascinating.
Right.
It's not just about lines of code.
Yeah, it's not just about
or algorithms.
The tech.
We're talking about shaping the future of humanity.
Shaping the future of humanity. You hit the nail on the head.
DeepSeek's arrival.
Yeah,
has forced
us
to confront some fundamental think about
our relationship with technology. And the
kind of future we want to create. So what role
do we want AI to play?
Do we want AI to play in our lives? How do we ensure that it
reflects our values?
Reflects our values?
Right.
And how do we navigate this complex and rapidly evolving
landscape?
These are big questions with
no easy answers.
But
that's what makes it,
as we wrap up,
so interesting.
This deep dive, what would you say?
What would I say? Is the key takeaway for our listener? I think DeepSeek serves as a powerful reminder that technology is never neutral.
Okay.
It's shaped by the choices we make, both individually and collectively. And those choices will ultimately determine the kind of future we create.
Yeah.
So engage with these questions. Explore the possibilities.
Explore and be a part of shaping.
Be part of shaping the future of AI in a way.
The future of
that benefits
all of humanity.
Beautifully said. DeepSeek may have started.
Single AI.
But as a single AI,
its ripple effects are being felt across. Prompting us to
think
deep,
chart a course
for a future where
AI empowers us all. Right.
And that's it for part 1.
All right.
Of our deep dive into DeepSeek.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a moment with part 2.
We'll be right back after the break.
So don't go anywhere.
So welcome back to our deep dive into DeepSeek.
Back at it, and it's been a journey so far.
It has been a journey.
It really has. I mean, we've gone from shockwaves in the stock market to
stock market shockwaves.
Historical parallels. With Sputnik.
Yeah.
And the PC revolution. I mean, DeepSeek is
shaking things up.
It
is.
But before we get to the future of AI, I'm still grappling with how DeepSeek pulls off this magic trick of being both powerful and cost-effective.
That's a good question.
So how do they do it?
Yeah, and the sources actually offer some insights into that.
Okay, so spill the beans.
So one key aspect is they use a technique called mixture of experts.
Mixture of experts.
Mixture of experts.
I've heard that term thrown around.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, it sounds a little
intimidating.
Intimidating. Can you break it down for me?
Imagine a team of specialists.
Okay.
Each with their own unique area of expertise.
Okay.
So instead of having one generalist trying to handle every task, you have a system that intelligently delegates tasks to the most qualified expert.
So instead of one AI trying to be a jack of all trades, DeepSeek has
exactly
a whole team.
That's a whole team. Revised AI.
Specialized AIs.
Working together.
Okay. Much more efficient division of labor.
This
improves efficiency.
Division of labor not only improves efficiency, but it also allows each expert to focus on what they do best.
That's right.
Potentially leading to more
accurate
and nuanced
results.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So is this mixture of experts approach?
It likely plays a role.
Part of what allows DeepSeek to be so
in their cost effectiveness.
Cost effective, I mean.
By distributing tasks among specialized models, DeepSeek can avoid the need for one massive energy-hungry model to handle everything. Yeah. It's like having a well-coordinated team versus a lone superhero trying to save the world.
So not every AI has to be Superman.
Okay, and I'm guessing this approach also ties into the potential future of AI that we were teasing before the break.
It does.
So are we talking about a world where we have all these...
We might be moving towards a future with...
specialized AIs instead of a few giant do-it-all models.
More specialized, task-specific AI models.
So instead of having one AI that can write poems and translate languages and diagnose diseases, we might have...
separate AIs that are experts in each of those areas.
Separate AIs that are experts in each of those areas.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. But wouldn't this also make control and regulation even more challenging?
It's a valid point.
If AI everywhere and in everything, how do we...
that policymakers and tech leaders
ensure it's being used responsibly?
They're actively grappling with.
Yeah, it sounds like
that's a big question.
A massive undertaking. Yeah. But it's clear that we can't just...
and it requires a rethinking.
Ignore these issues. We need to be...
of current regulatory framework.
Proactive in anticipating potential problems and working towards solutions.
And a global conversation about ethical AI development.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
You know, one of the sources you provided compared DeepSeek's impact to the PC revolution. And I remember back when computers were these huge, expensive machines that only governments and big corporations could afford. And then along came personal computers.
Personal computers.
And everything changed.
Everything changed. Just as PCs democratized computing, DeepSeek could do the same for AI.
Compelling analogy.
Making these powerful tools accessible. To individuals and smaller organizations.
Accessibility is what makes this so exciting.
Right.
But also a bit
daunting.
A little bit daunting.
I mean, what if its technology falls into the wrong hands?
What if it falls into the wrong hands?
What if it's...
or what if it's used for purposes that...
purposes we never intended.
We never intended. So those are valid concerns.
These are valid concerns.
And importance of.
They highlight the importance of...
responsible development and ethical considerations.
Responsible development.
You know, we need to be mindful of the potential risks while also
embrace
in the transformative possibilities.
Ethical considerations.
So that AI offers.
We need to be mindful of the potential risks while also embracing
transformative possibilities that AI offers.
That AI has.
Okay, before we wrap up, it's one more thing I want to address.
Okay, what's that?
Some experts are skeptical of DeepSeek's claims.
They are.
Particularly regarding its...
especially the low
development cost.
Development cost, they argue that the reported $6 million... the
$6 million
figure
is
suspiciously low.
Suspiciously low. And that the true cost...
and that the true cost, including
research and development...
must
be much higher.
Must be much higher.
It's a valid point.
It's a fair point.
And there's definitely some debate.
And there's some debate.
About About the true cost.
The true cost of DeepSeek's development.
DeepSeek's development.
So it's possible that the reported figure doesn't capture the full picture.
It doesn't capture the full picture.
Especially if we consider hidden costs.
Especially if you consider hidden costs.
Like government support or...
Like government support.
Access to subsidized resources.
Or access to subsidized resources.
It's like those cooking shows.
Exactly.
Where they whip up...
they make it look so easy.
A gourmet meal.
30 minutes.
In 30 minutes.
And they conveniently forget to mention.
But conveniently forget to mention all the prep work.
All the prep work.
That happened
behind the scenes.
On camera, behind the scenes.
Yeah. So even if the $6 million figure is accurate.
Even if it is accurate.
It's crucial to remember that it doesn't represent.
It doesn't represent the total investment.
The total investment in AI research and infrastructure that went into making.
In AI research and infrastructure.
DeepSeek.
That went into DeepSeek.
Possible.
Right, exactly.
So while DeepSeek's efficiency is impressive.
DeepSeek's efficiency
we shouldn't take those cost figures
we shouldn't take those figures
as value.
At face value.
There's a lot happening behind the scenes. That
we might not be. Fully aware of.
Yeah.
And that complexity
underscores
the need for.
Complexity underscores the need for
critical thinking.
Critical thinking and careful analysis. As we navigate
this rapidly evolving AI landscape.
AI landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
good point to pause.
Great point to pause for now. We've delved into the technical intricacies.
Yeah, we've covered
the
technical intricacies.
Explored the potential for
specialized AIs.
The potential for specialized AI.
And acknowledged the need for responsible development.
We've acknowledged the need for responsible development.
There's still one crucial aspect we haven't addressed yet.
The geopolitical implications. The DeepSeek's emergence.
Of DeepSeek's emergence. That's a whole other layer of complexity.
A whole other layer of complexity.
And one that deserves careful consideration. So for the grand finale. We'll delve into the geopolitical chess game that's unfolding as DeepSeek enters
geopolitical chess game.
The global stage.
That's unfolding as DeepSeek enters the global stage.
It sounds like things are about to get.
Even more
interesting.
Indeed. All right, stay tuned for the final act where we'll explore how DeepSeek's arrival is reshaping.
How DeepSeek is reshaping the balance of power.
In AI. And what it might mean.
For the future.
For the future of global technology.
All
right, welcome back to our deep dive on DeepSeek.
Back for the final act.
We've covered the potential, even the ethical concerns. But now we're stepping onto the global stage. It feels like DeepSeek isn't just changing the AI game, it's changing the whole world order.
Well, it's certainly a major player in a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape.
Okay, so...
and as we've discussed, DeepSeek's emergence has been compared to the Sputnik moment, highlighting those anxieties surrounding AI development and its potential to shift global power dynamics.
It's not just about who has the smartest AI, right?
It's not just about who has the best AI.
Yeah.
How
that AI might be used to further national agendas.
How that AI might be used.
Potentially creating...
further those national agendas.
Friction between countries.
Yeah, potentially creating some friction between countries.
We're talking about AI being used for things like surveillance. Propaganda. Even cyber warfare.
Propaganda, even cyber warfare. It's a chilling thought.
A pretty chilling thought.
It is. These are serious concerns.
Yeah, so DeepSeek's open source nature.
That are being discussed in policy circles and think tanks around the world.
Which seemed...
and it's important to remember...
positive at first.
That these aren't just hypothetical scenarios.
Now seems a bit more ambiguous.
We've already seen examples of technology being used in ways that raise ethical questions.
On one hand, it promotes transparency and collaboration.
Right. On the one hand, it promotes transparency and collaboration.
But on the other hand, it could give China a powerful tool. To spread its influence and reshape the global AI landscape.
To its advantage.
So
it's a complex situation with no easy answers.
it's a complex situation with no easy answers.
Yeah. And policymakers and tech leaders are struggling to find that right balance.
Yeah.
How to encourage innovation and open access,
Right,
while also safeguarding against potential misuse.
it sounds like we're entering a new era
It does feel that way.
of technological competition.
A new era of technological competition.
One
where AI is the ultimate prize.
AI is the ultimate prize, and the stakes are incredibly high.
And the stakes are incredibly high.
This competition has implications for economic dominance, national security, and the future of global power.
For economic dominance, national security, and the future of global power. It's
a lot to process.
It's a lot to process. But amidst all this tension, I did come across some glimmers of hope.
Okay, good. I like a little bit of hope.
Many experts believe that the best way to counter the potential risks posed by DeepSeek isn't to stifle innovation or engage in a technological arms race.
Right. Instead, they're advocating for a more collaborative approach.
Okay.
One that encourages responsible development and shared norms of use.
So maybe instead of viewing DeepSeek as a threat, we could see it as a catalyst, a wake-up call that compels the world to work together on one of the most important technological frontiers of our time.
That's a powerful perspective, and one worth exploring further.
It might be tempting to retreat into a defensive posture, but
It might.
history has shown that collaboration and dialogue are often more effective in addressing global challenges.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's in everyone's interest to ensure that AI is used for good and not for harm.
And in the case of AI, those challenges are potentially immense.
Hmm.
Yeah, but hey, that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
It's not just about lines of code or algorithms. We're talking about shaping the future of humanity.
DeepSeek's arrival has forced us to confront some fundamental questions
Yes.
about our relationship with technology and the kind of future we want to create.
Yeah, what role do we want AI to play in our lives? How do we ensure it reflects our values? And how do we navigate this complex and rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape?
Those are big questions
Yeah.
with no easy answers.
Big questions, no easy answers. As we wrap up this deep dive, what would you say is the key takeaway for our listener?
I think DeepSeek serves as a powerful reminder that technology is never neutral. It's shaped by the choices we make,
Okay.
both individually and collectively.
Yeah.
And those choices will ultimately determine the kind of future we create. So engage with these questions, explore the possibilities, and be a part of shaping the future of AI in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Beautifully said. DeepSeek may have started as a single AI, but its ripple effects are being felt across the globe, prompting us to think deeply, collaborate, and chart a course for a future where AI empowers us all. That's it for our deep dive in DeepSeek. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and keep those sources coming. We'll be here to help you make sense of it all.